did. Oh, there we go. Okay. So hi to everyone joining in for the recording, and hi to those that are here today. Thank you so much. Siobhan, Cassian, Mitlali, Sam, Chacha. I'm going to share my screen here in a bit to show you guys a small presentation, and then we're going to share some experiences, okay? So first of all, oh, wait a second. Let's go back to the, okay, so this little Zoom session is, the objective is to give the basics of dream work and also to kind of check in and see where everybody's at in terms of dream work or experiences, you know, because I think, yeah, it's important to connect, you know, also, and to see what you guys have been experiencing, like in the dream world, you know. So this is the outline. This is what we're going to be doing today. You know, what are dreams? What are the benefits of recalling your dreams and interpreting your dreams? The dream drama, so the dramatic structure of them. And what language do dreams use? You know, because they are so weird and crazy sometimes, right? It's like they don't make any sense. And so how can we actually understand them better, right? And how can I better recall my dreams if you're having a difficult time remembering your dreams, because that happens as well. And then, you know, the space will be open for you guys to share anything that you would like to share with everyone else, or if you have questions. All right. So let me know if you want to say anything before I continue. Otherwise, I'm just going to go on to the next slide. Okay. All right. So what are dreams? This is a big question because, you know, it's like we've been, I feel like mainstream science and psychology, a lot of people have provided definitions of what dreams are and where they come from and where how they are created. For me, this is what dreams are. Okay, so we have these experiences where we go to the what we call the astral realm. And most of the time when we go to the astral realm, this is a place where there's a lot of recycling of events, usually from our waking realities. Some dreams can be prophetic, so they can provide you information of what's going to happen next, perhaps because you're tapping into a future timeline. But you know, but just from that astral realm is for me like the departing point. You know, it's like that's where we always go most of the time, at least, when we dream, and we dissociate from our bodies to go there, right? But we can also have the possibility of going even further, and that's what I would call interdimensional travel, which is visiting higher dimensions or lower, even lower dimensions as well. And these dreams for me have been very vivid. They could be lucid as well, where you know what that you're dreaming and that you can actually have some control over what's happening, or they can seem like out of body experiences, right? And so yeah, and I guess out of body experiences can sometimes start in the astral realm, but these also have the possibility of happening in the higher or lower realms. You know, it's like because you have the control over what you're doing in these experiences for the most part, if you can control it. Because I don't know about you guys, I still can't really control where I go. That's a little annoying for me right now, because every time I'm just like taken places and I'm just like, okay, I know there are ways, you know, and then I've been trying different techniques and stuff, but for now I'm just like, okay, where am I gonna go next? I don't know, but it always takes me to somewhere interesting, you know, and so yeah, and so that's the way I would classify them. You know, different people might have different perspectives, but I do believe that we can't just classify everything as just a regular dream, just images that are created by our minds. We do travel, you know, we do have that capability of accessing these higher realms where we can grab information and connect with other people's energies as well. And those are always for a purpose. You know, when you're tapping into other timelines or other people's realities, there's a strong connection between you and that person somehow. So, you know, that is super valuable information. So when you're like, when you know that you're tapping into all of these this data, you're more capable of interpreting and applying that in your waking life. Because this, like it says right there in the presentation, this reality is a mass dream, because our dreams are literally just parallel realities that we form ourselves, through our thought forms, because what we create, all our thoughts are scalar energy. Okay, you can see this as, in the quantum perspective, it's all scalar energy, and these thought forms create, patterns that are going to manifest in other dimensions and other timelines, other realities. And that's what you're tapping into when you go into dream state, is just another physical, another reality, which is different from this physical reality, but it's all very intertwined, right? So what you see in your dream world, you can apply into this reality, and it just, you get more synchronicities as well when you're starting to tap into your dreams, because you see how they're linked and how you can actually work with that information to connect more with your inner knowing, your highest potential as well, your higher aspects. So yes. Okay, let me go to the next slide. What are dreams? What's the next one? Oh, if I can go to the next one, hold on. Oh, there we go. So, like I was saying, there's a lot of benefits to recalling your dreams and interpreting them. These are only a few, like I was saying, the information, right? It's like this information is not necessarily available to us when we're awake, because we've got all these, first of all, the ego and, our conscious mind, our analytical mind, that's always interpreting things in a certain way. And when we're sleeping, that is off. It's your subconscious mind is, the one speaking here for the most part, and also your superconscious mind. So, in psychology, we talk a lot about the unconscious, right? But there's also the supraconscious, so the higher aspects that are coming in and giving you these messages saying, hey, look at this, or hey, this might happen if you don't stop doing this, for example. So yeah. And you got increased self-awareness. So, that's obvious. You can also heal through processing all the emotions that are present in your dreams, especially if you have a lot of like repetitive dreams or aspects that keep showing up. Like, for example, I've had a lot of water, a lot of like going on a cruise, on a journey, a lot of things with family and stuff. So it's like the reoccurring things point to something, So we have a question here from Nichilali. How can one efficiently protect oneself in dream space? Every time I become somehow lucid, some lower astral being hijacked my dream. Oh my God, you do 12 shielding, but it's not always effective. Wow, okay. I was gonna say, yeah, there's definitely, yeah, shielding is important. But I was talking about this with someone a little while ago of how I feel like there are a lot of interceptions happening in dream state lately. A lot of my close friends have trouble remembering their dreams. They practice eternal life, shielding techniques and all this, and DNA activations and all this stuff that is supposed to help, bring yourself into this space of like, first of all, remembering your dreams better and learning how to interpret them better because your DNA is activated. But there is some sort of frequency fence or something happening at the moment. And we're like, okay, well, you know what? That's a reality. For me, that's a reality. It's, yeah, we've got to keep going and keep trying to unlock. For me, it's about unlocking the personal DNA and blueprint, because everybody has a different thing or a different way to activate themselves. And even though, yeah, we can do, techniques from different teachings like 12D shielding, or, whoever might suggest something different, but it's also about tuning into what is going to work for you, for yourself. Maybe there's a specific symbol, and I've been working on this a little bit, on creating symbols, my own symbols, not just the symbols that are given to me, which are very good, actually. I've worked with, like things like the Akasha, you've got the Merkaba star, you've got a bunch of symbols out there. There are a lot of sacred geometry or geomancies that are proposed. which can be helpful, yes. But right now, I feel like it's a lot about working on your own symbols, and I've been speaking about maybe doing a workshop on this because I think it is important for people to start coming up with their own techniques, even though we have like maybe the basics, that are kind of, I was speaking about this with someone the other day. I feel like there are some universal truths that we can all kind of apply. And then those truths kind of format them or adapt them to something that is more in tune with our own energy, with our own unique blueprint. So yeah, I think that would be cool, to do that together at some point. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that to see what we can do and organize something where everybody can come up with their own unique technique based on the basics of like protection, during dream state. Because yeah, I've had that a lot. People telling me either they can't remember or that they've had entity attachments or weird things happening. So yeah, definitely. This takes us to the next point, where it's like benefits of dream recall and interpretation can also guide you through difficult decisions, relationship issues, health concerns, career questions, or life struggles. So yeah, learning how you can work with your dream state will help you get through all these issues. So yeah, you're welcome. Of course, yeah, we'll talk more about this for sure, Nitari. And then we've got, hold on, let me move this here a bit. Yeah, so it'll help you also become more assertive and confident. If you learn how to work with your dreams, you'll have this connection, this constant connection with your higher aspects that it's like a guidance, it's like a perpetual guidance, not only in dream state, but then it also carries into the waking state. That's what's really cool about this, doing dream work. And then the last one is improving your creativity, because dreams are the place where we're the most creative, really, and the more you realize you're dreaming, for example, if you have lucid dreams once in a while, you'll notice, right, that you can do whatever you want. And then when you practice this, the more you practice it, it'll become more of something that you want to do even in this reality, right? Because why not? Like, why are we limiting ourselves to things that we see with, or that we think that we can do with our analytical minds? But this life can become so much more magical when we kind of just lift all those, expectations and thoughts of like, or limiting beliefs, right, of what we can do and not do. So yeah, it's like, here is like, you're creating all of this, just like you're creating your dreams. And the more you realize that, the more creative control you'll have over what happens in this reality even, So yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So we're almost done here, and then I'll let you guys talk because I want to hear from you. So for when I talk about dream drama, it's like the dramatization of dreams, because they can be seen through the lens of like like a movie, for example. And most of the time, not always, but most of the time, what's happening, it's either they're compensating something or they're complementing something, especially when those regular dreams that we have, like in the astral realm. This doesn't necessarily apply to when we're connecting to other realities or other dimensions where we're tapping into, for example, the energy of someone else, or it depends. But you can also maybe identify some of that happening in those dreams. But this compensation and complementation is more like the psychology behind it, more like traditional psychology. So these are like more like the regular dreams that we have almost every day, almost every night, right? And so, for example, compensation is something that's over dramatized, or let's say, for example, I dreamt that I was being really nice to someone. It was their birthday, I was buying a cake, I was doing a bunch of things for them, but in this reality, I don't really like the person, and I kind of feel bad about not liking the person because I really like their partner. So I'm less like, I feel kind of bad because I was asking, I was talking with their partner about something. Oh, we should do a collaboration or something, and and I was just thinking, oh, maybe I haven't really talked to the other person at all, because in reality I don't really feel a connection with them, but in the dream I was being really nice to them, so the dream is like pointing at something where you're just like, okay, don't, the message that I got is like, you don't need to be, hypocrite. If you don't like someone, that's fine, that doesn't mean you're a bad person. But it was just showing me, this is something that you have to look at. You're trying to be nice to this person, you want to be nice to this person, but that's not how you feel, really. So it's like compensating that, the aspect, of me feeling like, no, I don't really like this person, but I don't want to feel that way. And then complementation would be just adding on to information that you already know about a situation, you know for example. Well, and then these two can be very interrelated. For example, in a dream I had, and it started more with like compensation, because it was like, I really liked this guy, and in this reality he was, being nice and all, but in the dreams he was always like really shady and really like really distant. And so it was like, showing me the other side of like, this is actually something that you have to look at. Like, it's not, you're looking at this guy and thinking, oh, he's really nice and I really like him, but in reality his personality is not what you're looking for. He's actually very distant and very like shady, and so that was in the terms of complementation, it was giving me information that I wasn't even aware of. I was like thinking, oh, this guy is, the guy of my dreams or whatnot. But the dreams kept showing me images of him doing things that was like, why is he doing that? Like, why does he not talk to me in the dreams, for example? Like, why? And so it's like giving you information that you don't really, that you haven't brought to your consciousness, and sometimes they were kind of prophetic as well, like showing me what might happen if I continue along this path of talking to this person, that I was going to end up heartbroken, or something. So it's like, okay, you know what, I need to pay attention to this, because it's, our ego in the waking state, you're always like thinking through what you see. People have their personas, their facades, and they sometimes do a really good job of like portraying something that they're really not. And it's not because they're bad people, sometimes it's just, they have their own trauma, their own things that they went through, and they want to be there for you, or they want to be nice to you, but they're not really capable. Like, deep down, they're not really capable of doing that. They're not really capable of giving you what you want in a relationship, for example. So I was like, oh, I was really disappointed because I kept getting the same type of dream over and over again. So I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm going to listen to that, I'm going to let it go. So that's, I listened to the message, and yeah, I think, I don't regret it at all. Like, I got it confirmed, even in my physical reality, that definitely this person was not what I was expecting in a relationship, right? So yeah. And anyway, that's for the dramatization, of dreams. They can over uh dramatize something, to show you, hey, even though it's not, maybe the situation is not really like that, it's going to magnify it and make it look even worse than it is, just for you to see that this is what might be later on. It might turn into this if you keep going down this path. So yeah. Anyway, all right, let's keep going here. And so how do dreams communicate with us, right? Because that, like I said, that most of the time they're very crazy, or it seems like they don't make any sense. And this has, a lot to do with distortions that we've gone through in our DNA, throughout the years of DNA manipulation, and all the what's it called, the distortions that have happened on Earth and everything. Well, you know, it's a long story, but in general, there has been a lot of tampering, especially with the emotional body, you know, and so the subconscious mind and dimension two specifically, you know, of our if we look at it in terms of dimensions, right? We've got the dimension two, which is closely linked to, you know, the lower chakra, the sacral chakra, for example. Yep. And so we've got all these distortions, right? And that's why things are, when they come into the dream state, they don't really make any sense. So that's why we have to work a little bit extra harder to, you know, to interpret them. But the more you do this, the more clear the messages will come to you. Okay, so, but, you know, in general, the dreams will communicate through allegory, and metaphor is one of them. So for example, you've got things that might seem like a message that is like, oh, let's say I was laying in the grass, for example, in one of my dreams. And I was just like, I couldn't move. I was just like laying there watching people walk by, and I was so tired. And it's like, oh, that dream felt horrible because I felt like I couldn't really do anything. And so it's like I guess metaphorically was telling me of the way I was viewing life in that moment. It was like, that was a day where I was feeling really apathetic and really like, oh, I don't want to be here. So that was magnified, you know. It's like, all right, this is how you feel right now. What are you going to do about it? It's like, so it usually shows a bigger picture of, it's not literally like, oh, you know, they're just sitting in the grass, tired. No, that's not it. It's how you're seeing life at the moment. You know, it's, if you zoom out and see the bigger picture of the message of the dream, it means something more, you know, than just being there and watching people walk by. So it's like, okay, well, what am I going to do about that, right? How am I going to change that perspective, right? So yeah, it's that, you know, that's one example. I hope that's a good example. I mean, there's probably a better example, you know. There's, the thing with metaphors is like, there's a message, you know, like saying, for example, you have a story of someone throwing rocks at a house or something, and maybe the bigger image or the bigger picture is the war between countries, you know, something even bigger than what it seems like. That's what I'm talking about when I say allegory and metaphor. Okay, so yeah, just to give a better example, because I don't know, like that one, you know, my dream of being on the grass. Anyway, and then you've got the symbols. So symbols can be personal things, or they can be archetypal. I always get this word wrong. Archetypal, yes, archetypal. I hope I'm saying it right, because this is a word that I don't know why, but it's like, this is the meaning of things that are in the collective consciousness, right? So the archetypes, you know, I don't know why I just have a hard time saying archetypical, or it's not archetypical, archetypal. Anyway, you got it, you got what I'm saying. So these symbols, right, they can have a personal meaning, and they can have a more general subconscious meaning, but from the collective unconsciousness. You guys, I'm glad I'm actually making you laugh, at least. And so when we're looking at it through this perspective, right, you've got to look at it both ways. I like to look at it from both perspectives, right? Let's say you're dreaming about bears a lot, you know, and it's like, okay, what do bears mean for me? Let's say I think they're cute. I think maybe you know, they're powerful. Maybe I think they're scary. And then I look maybe at the mythical meaning of bears. You know, what do they mean? And maybe you run into things like, oh, this the you know, astronomically, you've got the Ursa Major and all these things that can also point to something, right? To a message for you. So yeah, you've got to think about both things, right? And this will mean something for one person. It might mean, oh, maybe you need to focus a lot on like maybe the aspect of hibernation, you know, like that you need a moment to rest, and, you know, to actually do the incubation of your ideas, you know, all the creative thoughts that are coming through. And then all of a sudden you're going to have all these insights and all these things, you know, but the bear is like always there trying to remind you of that. Another one might be, oh, there's something, what are you running away from, right? It's like, if you're scared of the bear, for example, you've got all these issues perhaps that you keep running away from, that you don't want to see. So the bear is like, they're trying to like make you see that, and that might be, so symbols is just, there's so many things in there that we can talk about in terms of symbols. And then you got the rebus. So the rebus is like, the best example I always think about is like, when you write I love you, and the word I, or the letter I, the heart, love, or no, I, just like let's say you draw an I, right? Like an I, and then the heart for love, and then the letter U. So that's a rebus, right? And I have a perfect example of this one, because I had a dream last week in which I was in a school, and there was this huge guy, like really, really huge, in front of me. And I was like, I had a bunch of books, and then I dropped my books, and then everybody's like looking at me, and I was like, oh, I was like, being really like funny and trying to like, be liked by everyone. And then the guy actually took it, like I was being funny, and he liked how I was reacting. I was like, okay, well, cool. And of course I had to drop my books, and it was like, so I felt like really, looking back at it, I was just like, why did I do that? Like, because when I'm thinking about it, right, like in the rebus form, it's like I dropped my knowledge in order to be liked by these people. You're right, like the books, drop them. It's like, oh, I can't, if I speak from my, like really showing what I know, they will probably check out or not listen to me, just like what happens a lot to us in real life, right? Like we talk about things and people are like, are you okay? Are you crazy? You're, I don't know. And then we're like, oh man, we want to adapt to people a lot, and we want to be liked, and so we tend to water down our knowledge a lot. And that was like super magnified in this dream. And how I saw this guy is huge, thinking, why, like, and later on I was looking more into who this person was, and I'm like, I don't even know why I was thinking about him so like as a a huge person, because in reality, no, I would never be friends with this person. Really, it was a person that I actually knew from from a social media app or something. But yeah, you get to know people, and then after a while you realize, why did I even like this person so much, or why was I even worried about our relationship, or because they weren't for you. They're not meant for you. You're supposed to really step into your power of like, hey, this is what I know, and I might change my mind later on. I might learn different things and bring in a different type of knowledge, but for now, I'm not going to water myself down just to please other people, regardless of if I'm right or if I'm wrong. That's not important. What's important is for me to be in my truth, right? To really be expressing things that I know will help me and other people evolve. And later it might be something else. We might evolve into something completely different, but we've got to stop doubting ourselves, really thinking, like, so am I ready to share things with the world? Am I, like, what am I doing, Right, Sam? Yeah. So we got to stop watering ourselves down, really, and like really just trust, that what we're doing is right, because we can't really go wrong in this path. I love this idea of like, there's no going wrong, because um would be a shame would be to stay stagnant and not do anything, right? It's just, that would be a shame, and not that it's wrong. It's just that, well, that's too bad, right? If you don't want to move forward and get things done and learn new things and meet new people, but yeah, anyway. Don't want to go too deep into that, because I can go like for hours about like how it's like we're just not trusting each other, ourselves enough. Each other, no, not each other. I mean, I trust the people that I've been in contact with lately. It's just been amazing, like how much I've been learning from other people as well. So yeah, that was oh, wait, hold on, I can't move my okay, here we go. All right, so how can I better recall my dreams? If you guys have been having difficulties remembering them, because that happens. And the most important thing that I've learned is to really honor and recognize the importance of dreams. And it's like this relationship that you're cultivating with yourself and with your higher aspects. It's like when you're really honoring that, it's like sending the message, hey, I know that this is important, that I'm getting important information from this, so I'm going to keep doing, for example, writing down the dreams, keeping a journal, or doing a ritual, just, and ask questions. So all the next things that follow on the list, are things that we can do to honor that importance of the dreams. And when we say ask the right questions, it's like, well, let's say you wanted to ask a question like, how can I earn, how can I be a millionaire? Like, that might not be something that your higher self, or your future aspects want you to do, because that's not your true essence. Maybe you don't want that really, and what you think you want right now is going to change in the future. So if you're asking that now, you might not get an answer to that, and that's normal. But let's say you ask a question of like, oh, you know what, let me see something important that might help me in my journey, for example, and you write it down. You will get something in relation to that, regardless. And I've definitely had, these days where I've been experimenting with questions. I've had moments where I'm just like, oh, I guess that question wasn't important because I had a dream that was totally not related, but I still got messages through the dream. I still remembered my dream. It's just that my higher aspects decided to tell me something different, which is fine as well, because I still got something from it. But yeah, when I've asked the questions that will actually help me in my journey, I will get an answer that is very much related to that in the dream state. So yeah, you've got to like practice, like asking questions, and also when you're cultivating that relationship, let's say, for example, think about it as talking with another person sometimes, even like an aspect of yourself. If you ask that other aspect of yourself, let's say, for example, people that are having problems with like losing weight, for example, let's say, why can't I lose weight? If that is your question, that's like, whoa, like, what kind of question is that? Like, what do you want me to say? But let's say you ask something like, how can I start taking more care of my body? Or, something formulated in a way where you would actually, you think about it as asking yourself that question, right? When you're looking at it, think about it like, how would I take it if somebody asked me this question, right? What would I say? And then even just doing that, also you're gonna start getting answers already, even before the dream state, right? But then you might get more things, things that are maybe in your blind spot, like what it was saying before in the presentation about compensation and what's it called, and complementation, is that the purpose of the dream is to provide information about anywhere where you're having blind spots. So that might happen further in the dream, and it might not happen that same night either. You've got to look at it as a dream series. That's why it's important to keep a dream journal. So, well, I'm going ahead here, but yeah, so do a bedtime ritual, right? Like, write down the dream, maybe do a protection technique or a meditation, light a candle. Some people light candles, or they do something like set an intention or something. And if you do that every night, that's sending that signal, right, to saying, hey, I honor this, I honor my dreams. And then you're going to write down all of your dreams, right, and see the patterns and see that there's a series. There's going to be like a series that'll show up, and maybe some aspects that are going to repeat themselves, right? So that's super important. That's why it's really important to write down all of the dreams. And don't give up on your dreams. So it's like, if you don't have an answer or something significant the first day, you're going to have something happen in the following days, or maybe later on. You will only get what you need. We're only going to get information that is pertinent for our journey, and that will actually help us, because that's what dreams are for. They are here to guide us, and they're here to provide us with information that is going to help us tap into our highest potential. So once you see it that way, and and to create a life here that is going to be of let's say a more happy life, or a life that we're going to enjoy better, because we're going to have this intimate connection with the dream world, which is, like I said, just a parallel reality, like it's interrelated. So yeah, that's the whole idea is to create a reality that will be of benefit to you and to those around you, and to stop like buying into the programs and the thoughts of like, oh, I have to do this, and why are things not going the way I want them to, and we're always like all this stress always, right? It's like this constant stress. We've got to like get rid of all that, and make life flow a little better. And it doesn't mean that it's always going to be dandy and like super amazing, but it can be way better than things that we've been experiencing since forever, with all the programming that we've got that we're trying to get rid of here. So yes, okay, let me see if there's okay, that's the last slide. I'm gonna stop sharing the screen, and I want to hear from you guys, and yeah, see what you guys have to say. What do you think about the presentation?
Thank you, love. That was really awesome to get your perspective on it. And I like what you said about the dream space is like quite, for me especially, it's been quite healing over the past couple of years. The more you've tuned into it and actually realized, oh, these are actually messages for me of things that I can work on either in my waking space or in my sleep space. So a lot of healing has come through that time. And even when you wake up, like you may have a purge or something, from some confrontation you had, but yeah, it's just, for me, it's been a super healing space in the most recent years.
Wow, that's so nice. Am I pronouncing your name right when I said Siobhan? Is that how you pronounce your name?
It's Siobhan.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
Don't you worry, honestly.
Siobhan. Did I say it right? Say it again.
Siobhan.
Where is that from?
I'm in Ireland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Sam is in Ireland too, aren't you, Sam? Are you still there, Sam?
Just unmute myself. Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
What part of Ireland are you in?
I'm in Laois.
Oh my God.
Where are you?
Dublin.
Oh, nice. I'm not far.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's amazing.
Cool.
Chacha loves like, yeah, she has I think did you say that you love Ireland too?
Oh.
That's so cool. And this is the idea of holding these events also to connect people with each other. So yeah. And how have you been experiencing your dreams lately? Of like let's say, can you maybe give an example of a dream you had or something? Or if you don't have to, but
yeah. Interestingly, like the last couple of weeks, so I because I've been watching your Instagrams, of course. You know me by Echoes of Beauty. A little bit. Yeah.
Oh,
I know it's weird because sometimes you have a name, but then it's not, your personal name. But yeah, I've been watching what you've been talking about. I know you're transitioning at the minute from your 9 to 5 and doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Similarly to me, and a lot of mine has come around being vulnerable and speaking out. And so a lot of my dreams have been about like my throat, something being ripped out, or sometimes it's not as violent as that, but it's always like reminding me you're not speaking or you're not communicating. And recently I was like, keep having these dreams where I'm in a swimming pool and I'm either naked or I'm trying to find a space where I can actually get changed, and I'm being seen by people. So it's like you're being vulnerable, or you feel vulnerable, you feel naked, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what's been happening recently.
Wow, I've definitely had those too, where I'm like trying to get dressed and like I'm like, why am I naked here? Like, I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing, Siobhan.
Tell me about your perspective on this, because I don't know, I'm sure a lot of people here have the same dream. My teeth falling out.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes. So what I've been investigating about this is a reoccurring thing in like humanity. So you can see this as like an archetypal yes, archetype,
That word.
thing, that word, I don't, because our teeth are like the way that we show the world, like our, like, it's like the first thing that people see, really. It's like, it's an image that we give, and
Mm.
so when you're dreaming of your teeth falling out, it's like you're worried about maybe what people think of you. And this is totally related to the being
Oh,
in
yeah.
public as well. Yeah, it's like, because the smile is, something that portrays an image, a certain image to the world. And even subconsciously, people, there have been studies where, for example, they ask people, what do you look at first in a person when, if you find them attractive or not? And one of the first things is a smile. So yes, so we know this, subconsciously, and when you're having these dreams, it's like pointing at the fact that you're still too worried about what people think about you, I think, for the most part. Yeah.
Isn't that, it's just so mad, because like I don't feel that way, but my subconscious keeps like giving me those dreams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and same here. I go out there and I'm like, I don't care, and I say, like, you know what, I'm just gonna be here and do my thing. But then there are moments where I'm like, oh, did this person like me, or did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but we know consciously that we shouldn't be thinking that way. It's just that there's still that programming lingering, kind of. But that's, that's a good thing, is that consciously that's not what you want to do. So it might still be pointing at that, but it's okay, because it's like you're getting rid of that. So you're gonna stop having those dreams like sometime soon, I'm pretty sure. It's just a matter of time. You don't have to really do much about it. It's just that I guess that mind heart connection that needs to happen, really, to really feel that way, and not just to think that way, but to actually feel it. It takes a little bit of time, but it's like in progress. That's what it feels like to me. Yeah. So, and then Nitlali said here, how about getting things out of your mouth? Like, can you share a little more? Nitlali, maybe you can, or wait, first I want to make sure, did you want to say anything else, or share anything?
No, go ahead. I'll let others say
Just
something.
want to make sure that, yeah. Nitlali, did you want to unmute yourself and tell me more about this, getting things out of your mouth or something?
Yeah, hi. Like having stuff stuck in the mouth and then pulling it out and just pulling it and pulling it, like never ending.
Wow. And did you see the color of it, or the shape or something, or the feeling of it?
Like just recently it was hair.
Hair. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is there another thing, or is it always feeling like hair?
Like recently I remember hair, but
okay, let me see, let me feel into this and see what comes through, because you have really nice hair, by the way.
thanks.
So to you, okay, so I do have to ask you, like, when you think about hair, like, what words come to mind the first? What word associations can you come up with?
Like I really care for hair, like for my hair.
Okay, what else comes to mind when you think about hair? Just words, maybe just
like beauty and stuff like that, like love and beauty and care and
and it's coming, and when it's coming out of your mouth, and what was the sensation like? Did you feel like grossed out? Did you feel weird? Did you feel scared?
It was pretty weird because I could feel the mouthful, and it was like pressure in mouth, and I was like pulling it out, and I tried to talk to someone, communicate with someone, and I couldn't. Like I had to turn away to pull out stuff and then to continue talking.
Oh, wow, that's really interesting. So this to me could mean, it could be interpreted in the form of a rebus or something like that, like you're yeah, like what came to mind is like feeling like you're full of it. I don't know why that came to mind. It's like maybe sometimes you feel like when you're talking to people, they don't really understand you. It's like you're as if they were thinking that you're full of shit, or so, but not necessarily in a bad sense, but like like you're like maybe the image that you give to people is that, you know, of course you know, you have this really nice hair, and it's like, especially, okay, now that what's coming to mind is the way people tend to view women, you know, it's like, oh, you know, she's a girl, she's just speaking, you know, like I said, like maybe full of shit, you know, like people tend to think this way, you know, and maybe
Yeah,
that's does that make sense?
yeah, it does. And I have another question. Like, I've been dreaming about being in classrooms like repeatedly, like almost every week or so. And
Mm,
it's like different settings, bigger, smaller, and something like that.
okay. So, and then what do you feel? Like, how do you feel in those classrooms? Are you okay? Are you happy? Are you uncomfortable?
Like most of the time, I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere like the spiritual thing or learning spiritual stuff, but other
Mhm.
times I was in this classical type of classroom, like in school, and I just couldn't take it anymore, and I stormed out, something like that.
Yeah. So it's like, so this is the aspect of yourself that's like wanting to learn things, but it, yeah, okay, so let me think further into this, because when I've had a lot of dreams about this as well, and I don't want to, like, you know, because sometimes when we have similar dreams, we tend to project things and say, oh, that's probably what it is, but for me it's like it has a totally different meaning. But for you, it seems like, you know, if you don't really like it most of the time, and plus it's like did you have like a good experience you know, being a student when you were younger, or no?
Not really, no.
No, okay. Yeah, so well, maybe it is very similar to, to what I've been experiencing, perhaps, because same with me. I didn't really, I mean, I liked the idea of learning always, but I never really liked school, and I never felt like I fit in. You know, I think there's a lot of that wanting to fit in but not really being able to. And then having people look at you like you know, like there's a lot of jealousy happening, you know. It seems like, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it feels like that way, you know, like maybe
Yeah,
some.
yeah,
Like what I'm picking up on is that like you want to be in environments where you can learn things, you want to be in environments where you can connect with people, but that's whenever you get a chance to do that, most of the time it's you get these looks, or these people that are not really, yeah, looking at you for who you are inside, is that they're just looking at the facade, you
yeah,
know.
totally, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm glad you're here, because we you know, I don't know, how do you feel here? Do you feel good?
Yeah, totally good. Thank you for having me.
Good. Yeah, so see, that's the thing, is like we gotta like ignore the environments where we don't feel like we fit in. I mean, it's fine, just, you know, leave those people behind, leave those environments behind, and focus on things that actually bring you joy, and people that will actually teach you things, but you know, not just superficially, because that's what it feels like to me. It's like those school environments and all that, it feels like there's been a lot of yeah, like superficiality, you know, maybe in your life. And but that's, you know, that just being here, for example, is already a big shift. So I think, yeah, that's a good thing, you know. Yeah, so let me know if you have any other question or any thoughts that came through while I was saying these thoughts to you.
Just thank you for the insight.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I mean, and keep looking into those dreams, because more things might come up. You know, this is just like a mini interpretation, you know, and don't hesitate to, you know, reach out if you want to like bounce back on ideas or things that might come up later on, because yeah, there's probably more that is going to happen. Or if you keep having those dreams as well, you know, there might be something more that we didn't identify today that might be important as well. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right, who wants to go next to share a dream, or to just, you know, share whatever you have on your mind? I'm looking at Kasia. Did you want to share something today?
Hi, hello, Ishel.
Hi.
Oh, okay, good. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for organizing this event first. Yes, it's definitely helpful for me. because yes, recently I have been having I think it's called like prophetic dreams.
Oh.
That yes, that I dream of something and then this situation happens in real life, either like the next day or like
Wow.
the-
Yeah. those are so
depending on the time frame. It might be even like just as prophetic as like that the situation that I dreamt last year happened this year. So it's this time frame, and some of them they just happened the next day. So yes, I have been having because of that I have been having a bit of difficulties like functioning, I think, in yes. I think that I started like to fear a bit because I had some of the dreams were not good dreams, and the situations happened in real life. So there was a dream. Those dreams started to occur around like 2 years ago when I started like meditating quite often on a regular basis. And the first dream that I found quite weird was that I was on the motorway, like being like floating in the air, and I just saw there was a motorway and there was a big traffic and there was a bridge over the motorway, and I never been in this place, like it was just random, but I just saw that there was big traffic and someone someone died, and but I didn't really pay attention to that dream when I woke up, and then my partner he just said that he's a friend from a college committed a suicide on the bridge on the motorway. It's around where we live, so and it just that I wouldn't pay attention to that dream until he mentioned that, because then like I dreamt about something like that, and that made me a bit there was other dreams that I found even more difficult because it was related to close friends of mine, and so I have been finding it a bit hard now to like to welcome dreams, because I'm just a bit afraid, and that's why I have been like also self-sabotaging myself, and I stopped doing like meditation because it's just I'm a bit scared, and I don't know, and I have also the situations where my dreams are very emotionally charged, and the dreams where I am in some sort of dungeon, and there are a lot of kids there, and I'm just trying to find a way, and I was just looking at those kids and I was asking where were the parents, and they said that we have no parents, we just live in this dungeon, and I was trying to find a way, and and this sort of situations that happens in dreams. And then when I wake up, sometimes I find it hard if the memory that I have when I wake up, I have some sort of like flashbacks, and I don't know if that is the flashback of this reality or of the reality from a dream, but I cannot pin to to anything. So yes.
Are those flashbacks like from traumatic experiences that you actually had in real life?
Yes, some of them, yes. I keep having
Mm.
yeah, because I was bullied at school, and
Mm.
I keep having this dream with that girl all the time, but the dreams are not that emotionally charged right now, and I know that those dreams are self-healing, because I can observe them, but the flashbacks are more like of like the certain like the situation or like the symbol that is when I look at something or someone says something, then I just have this flashback that, oh yeah, I think it was in my dream or something like that.
Okay, so yeah.
It's like the really short memory. I cannot recall that.
Yeah, I see. It's like it seems to me kind of very similar to like post-traumatic stress disorder, you know, like that's what they call it in psychology, you know, but I don't like calling it a disorder, but you know, because we all have past trauma that shows up in dreams often, and even from past lives as well. So it's like we all have some sort of trauma that we're dealing with today, and dreams point to that a lot of times. So yeah, there's what came to mind when you were talking is that maybe something that could benefit you would be to try to practice lucid dreaming, and or you can also do this in the waking state where you kind of envision a different outcome of the dream. You know, it's like you take those dream images, but maybe if you know, if they're not too uncomfortable, it depends on how you feel. But whenever you feel ready, you can do that and just imagine different things happening for the ending of the dream, and little by little it'll start actually also applying in dream state. You might actually even dream what you were envisioning in during your meditation, or yeah, that could help. Or you could also try to lucid dream and then change the outcome during the dream, you know, even if it's let's say it's a prophetic dream, right? But thinking about it in the way of like what we were saying is that both realities are intertwined. If you can somehow switch what happens in that dream, you might also be able to switch what happens in this reality. That might be really interesting. You know,
yes. Yeah, but what if like I am outside of the control of what is happening? Because
yeah, so you're not lucid. Yeah, you're not. If you're not lucid, then what I would suggest is just doing what's called there's this technique. It's like the guided. Wait, hold on. I space out on the name a lot. It's like the waking directed waking dream. Yes, that's what it's called, directed waking dream. And you can do this, like I can, you know, I can guide you to do this eventually, like if you wanted to. This is a technique that I've been exploring. You can also do it on your own, where you take the images of your dream and interact with them consciously. You know, you're using the dream symbols and the dream characters, and you're guiding yourself to do something different. You know, you're imagining different scenarios, or maybe you're speaking with a person, and let's say it's a bully. You know, it's like see that bully maybe more as an aspect of yourself, and instead of being afraid of the bully, you're going to talk to them, like, what can I do for you? And engage in that, you know, that conversation, but when you're fully awake, you know, just during that process, you know, like I said, that could help, you know. And later you might see that your dreams are going to change, because you'll be switching the narrative. You'll be changing literally past and future timelines this way, because we can do that through dreams and through meditation. We can change things that are stored in our cellular memory. We can shatter, like crystallize thoughts, because what happens is that we have all these crystallized thoughts stored in different parts of our bodies. You can do another technique, which is sitting there and scanning your body. It's like a body scan, and seeing if there are any areas where you feel a different kind of vibration or some sort of movement or some sort of stagnant energy, and you focus on that energy right there, and you literally just send, you know, energy, or you breathe into it. There's, you know, different things that you can do, but yeah, there's this technique that's called what's it called? I did a podcast about this one. You know what? I can send that to you if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yes.
to get rid of crystallized thought patterns, and you have to like imagine yourself going through this tunnel. And this tunnel is representing the fifth dimension, which is where lucid dreaming happens, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes, that will be, yes.
I'm
I
gonna,
will
I'm gonna
appreciate.
send you that. I'm gonna write it down because I might forget. So hold on, let me write that down. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that might help actually. So, and then you can, let me know and contact me if you need anything else, and we can do
Yes, but
something else.
thank you, because sometimes when I wake up, oh my God, it takes like I have to have like an hour to digest what yes, what did I dream about? Is like when I sometimes wake up, it's like, oh my God, what the hell just happened? Where were I? And yes, yes, some dreams I know how to read, especially the one with my classmates, old classmates. More or less, I can yes, I can read them and understand why. Yes, why what was the purpose of that dream? But yes, some of them, especially. Yes, just recently I have been having the dreams with some sort of symbols, and like I saw like the red shoe, or I was buying jewelry like this with this particular details, something. So this one, yes, I would like to also get more information how to read them, and yes.
Oh yeah, I mean we can do so many things. And if you guys haven't checked it out, I totally forgot to mention that, but I developed what's called dream scripts, and there's different levels of services that I provide. There's the discovery, which is for free, if you just want to kind of have an idea of what it could mean. Then well, let me show you here just real quick for everybody actually, because yeah, if you want to check that out. Hold on. And then there's of course, if you just wanted to share, I'm creating a database, a dream database. But yeah, like just to share dreams really. But there's this one right here. So there's like the discovery, exploration, and then the deep dive, right? So discovery is the one that's for free. And then you've got different types of dreams. Sometimes we have little dreams that are kind of more like poems, it could just be an image or some scene that doesn't have a particular plot. And you go there, right? And then there's like the format here, you fill out, and then it's like you just tell me what the date was, what role were you playing, what happened, how did you feel, and then anything else that you want to share. And it's very simple, right? And then you book a session. And then you've got the short story, so maybe a few images, and maybe it's maybe lacking some components, but it's still more of a story. And then you've got the one that I call a novel, which is like it's very complex. Maybe it has a lot of maybe different parts of it. Maybe it's different scenes, but it has a clear beginning and a middle and an end, right? So then it's the same thing, it's like you've got the format here. And then at the bottom, you've got what you want to do, just discovery, exploration, or do you want to deep dive, And so, yeah, that's, for you guys to explore. And yeah, I wanted to share that real quick.
Wow, perfect. Thank you. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I really.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, in the meantime, I wrote down, I'm going to send you this, and it's anybody else who wants it too. I have it in the Dream podcast episodes. It's to release past karma, because we've got a lot of stuff stored in our cellular memory that's still kind of there bugging us, and then what we do here in this physical reality affects all our future selves and our past selves as well. And then we've got a lot of aspects that are, we've got a lot of incarnations, we've got a lot of other, I think what people say is that I think it's 1728 versions. Like we're the 1728 version of ourselves. So can you imagine whatever you're doing right now is affecting all of those other aspects of you, really. So yeah, we've downstepped our consciousness, and then you divide it in every dimension. We're divided into 12 apparently. So I was like, wow.
I don't know if you've seen the recent Doctor Strange the movie.
Oh, somebody told me that was really good.
Yes, and yeah, it was good, but it's showing that when you connect with the higher dimension, you open the third eye chakra, and then they put it as a devil, something like that at the end. Like, yeah, like there was this connection, because I always like when I watch this type of movies, because of course they don't want to show the truth, they always do the opposite in the in Hollywood and everything. Like, the science fiction is not really fiction, is the science.
Right, it's like it's right in front of your face, but it's trying to hide it so that they use
Yes, yeah.
fiction.
But yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it's just-
and there was exactly like they were showing the different dimensions and how to access the different dimensions, and then that there was like 348 version of you in another dimension. So
there you go.
no, very good movie.
Same thing, but maybe different number of
Yes.
aspects, but still the same concept, right? And that's so true. I know I've connected to other aspects of myself in dreams. I've got like people just that I don't know anything about, and I've never met, calling me, sending me text messages in dreams, and I'm like, I don't know who this is, and then they come back and then they try to contact me through another person, and then we have a conference call, and I was like, what is this? So it's like, and it seems like important stuff happening, and most of the time I'm like, why can't I remember everything that they said? But I know that there's somewhere like I'm subconsciously storing this information, right? It's like when we do these interdimensional travels, that I call them, we do have this stuff that is happening in our DNA, that we get these images because we're having these DNA activations even through our dreams sometimes. So, it can be really crazy, but yeah. Oh, anyway, thank you so much for sharing, Cassia. Who wants to go next? Chacha, Sam, come on. Sam, come on, Sam. Are you still there, Sam? Oh,
I'm trying to unmute, and I'm like, how do I do? How do I unmute?
Chacha was across the room. Oh, I missed a comment from her. She said, I think most people who are on this path were the same in school. Yes. Right, Sam?
Yeah.
We were like, everybody
Yeah.
wants to try to fit in, and we're not.
Yeah. Totally
How-
relate.
How have you been feeling, Sam?
Just physically, I don't know. I can't really remember my dreams, but I feel like when I go to sleep and I rest, my energy center is just like vibrating all the time.
Oh,
Especially when I'm asleep, I
that
can
too, yeah.
feel it. It's intense.
wow.
And then it's more like yeah.
Sorry, before you continue, because I feel like this whole body vibration thing is happening a lot to me as well. And I've been trying to do something with it. And I've actually been able to sort of separate my astral body from my physical body consciously a little bit. But then I freak out, and then it's just like,
back into your,
to me, that could be, first I thought, I was like, oh, maybe DNA activations are happening. And it's like, oh, okay, I lay there and not do anything. But then I was like, I'm gonna try something, and last night I felt like my right leg was literally lifting up. Like I felt it, and it didn't feel like my real leg. Like it's just, and I was like, come on, go up. And then it was like, and then all of a sudden I felt like the other one was doing it, and I was like, like, oh no, I got really scared.
What is happening?
I know, right? So I'm thinking like we can literally consciously travel. And I've been reading this really interesting book of a guy who did this, but he spent most of his time in the astral realm, which is, there's so many weird things there, in the astral realm, the fourth dimension. I do think we can consciously even go higher. What's the technique? I don't know. This guy in the book had techniques that he came up with himself. And that's why I was saying, earlier, how I feel like right now it's super important for everyone to tap into their own unique techniques and blueprints, even though we have these maybe universal truths or techniques that might give us the basics, of how it works. And knowing, for example, that vibrations, to me, especially at night, do mean that there's this the sense of the body separating, wanting to travel somewhere, and I was literally taken to somewhere else. I didn't control it, sadly, but I was in another room again, just like I told you last time. And I was like, yeah, I was thinking, oh, I didn't even notice again that I was in another room, but I was thinking, oh, I want to like travel somewhere and I want my body to leave. And then I ended up dreaming something else. But yeah, I do feel like, this guy, for example, was saying something about, oh, I have this technique where I literally just roll out of my body. Like he just kind of wishes for it to happen and he just kind of rolls out of it. For example, it's a lot of things is like Carlos Castañeda. No, this guy his name is Robert Monroe. And the book the book is called Journeys Out of the Body. That's what I wanted to say. The book is Journeys Out of the Body, and he was saying that when you literally just kind of have to think of something and it can happen. What I'm thinking is that maybe there's for me at least, there's a little bit of a blockage in terms of like what I can actually do, because it feels like I'm very like I have a lot of limitations, like very limiting beliefs of myself, kind of like, oh, I can do it, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so maybe try, what I'm, that's why I was suggesting, like
Yeah.
I wanted to suggest to you, if you've been feeling vibrations or something, see what you can do with that. Like see if you can maybe feel like give a command or something, because I was doing that, like lift, like go up, or I felt going up a little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like projections, as in from like I can see all these balls of energy in my room and I keep seeing this, and I
like
can
in dream state, or like in the when you're meditating?
So I have like, I can't really remember the dream, and I know it's chaotic because I wake up and I'm like, it feels like last night I woke up and I was like, that was weird, and it just felt like it was all over the place. And then I wake up and I see this like ball of energy, but then when I really look at it, it comes in and out, and I can see eyes and a nose, and I can see this mouth moving, saying something. So it's there, and then it's over my son's head, and it's like they're projecting a dream into our heads, like where we're having this.
And this is like in the hypnagogic state, when you're between asleep and awake?
This is like normal, when I can see this like all the time, and it's getting
you're awake, completely
more
awake.
vivid. I can see this face and it's talking, and then I'm like,
oh my God. So it's
and
like dark in the room, right? It's like when it's dark in the room and then you can see these.
Yes. Yes.
I can see stuff like that too. Not faces. Yeah. Sometimes I see faces. Yeah, I have seen faces. Yes, but I do see these energy spheres, like you said. Yeah. So that is really interesting, right? Have you tried to like play with them or do something with them with your hands?
No, like I can definitely see it's an entity or some. It just, I definitely know it is. It's not a good energy, and then I'm like, I can see it, and then it moves, and it's like it's projecting images of dreams into my mind. It's like a mind control thing, and when I think into this forgetful, chaotic dream, I open my eyes and I see this, and then its mouth is moving like it's saying something.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that is so crazy. So wow,
they're manipulating our dreams. Like, it's definitely.
Wow, that's what I was saying about frequency fence and stuff, like there's something happening, and that's why a lot of people can't remember their dreams and stuff too. And you said you have difficulties lately too. I've talked to several people lately. It's the same thing. What's going on? I know. So what I'm thinking is like, we need to maybe, so this is what I'm thinking is like unite forces and do some sort of meditation at some point together, or something, that we could do before bed, but it could be like a similar thing, it doesn't have to be at the same time, but connecting to that same energy of like, we want to get rid of this, of these blockages, because I mean, it's there. Yeah, it's obviously there for a reason. And I think, I was saying to someone, it's okay. You'll remember your dreams. And they're like, but I feel really sad about not accessing this information. And I'm like, I get what you mean. It's like, because it's like they don't want you to
No.
access it, right? Because that would lead you to unlocking so many things.
Yes.
It does. That's what it does for people. Like all the time, I've seen so many stories of how people, like, you know, follow the dream messages, and then they get to doing what they really want to, and then they're super happy and blah blah blah. So, but and then with highly coded individuals, like everyone that's in this call today, you know, it's like, if you reach that highest potential, can you imagine what the ripples that it'll cause in the world, you know? So right now we're in this process of doing that, and healing so much and unlocking so many things, despite of all those interferences and everything. So I'm really actually optimistic about this. You know, we've got to keep going. It's like there's nobody that can, nobody or no thing or entity that can stop us.
Yes, definitely.
So this, like, you know, thank you for sharing that, because that actually gives me more of like a meaning of like, you know, because I was saying, like, I was feeling kind of like apathetic, like, what am I even doing? But there is obviously something that we're here to do, you know.
Mhm.
And that's
Right.
one of them. That's one of them. Like getting rid of all these little, you know, bullshit energies.
Yes.
Yes, we're on the right path. Like Cassia said, the holy water. You would get the holy water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just share something really fast as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the dreams I had, I never had it before. And this was a while back. And I was somewhere, and then I was sitting on a chair somewhere, and I was eating a prawn. And I looked at the little, it was like a little purple a little bit of energy on the prawn, and I stared at it, and then I went through a tunnel, and it was all clouded, the tunnel. And then I was like looking through a telescope, but it kept on moving. And you know, like a fairy tale book, like the way it has like a capital fancy letter, and it's like a really old book. And it was showing me different parts of this book, like a manual sort of thing. I don't know. I don't even know what to take from this, but it kept moving from one thing. It was like I was conscious in the dream. So I went through the tunnel. I looked at this little ball of energy on the prawn and cocked it in the dream, focused on it, and then went through the tunnel, and then was conscious for a couple of minutes looking through a magnifying glass at this book. And then I woke up.
Wow. It seems to me like you were going through that tunnel normally represents the access to the fifth dimension. That's where lucid dreaming happens. So that's why you were probably conscious at some point that you were dreaming, and that you went through that space, and then boom, there was like something that interfered, and then let you continue. But did you don't remember anything that you saw in the book, or like the words or anything?
It was something about, I remember thinking it was something about love, or
I know what's going on
I
there.
don't know.
Yeah, I see. And what just came to mind, you know, it's like, and you know, let me know if I'm going like too far. I don't want to share things that you don't want to share, but like in terms of relationships, right?
Yeah, it was something, maybe, it was something like that.
Yeah. So that's definitely something that I've been dealing with, you know, of like thinking, oh, was I too hard on this person, but they're really nice and I really like them and they could definitely be the one, and all these thoughts of like, you know, because we don't know any better, like, well, we haven't like had any better, because we deserve so much better anyways, but we haven't seen that in our lives. So when we get something that's close to that or similar, it's like, oh my God, why did I lose this person? Why did I let them get away? But no, I've been getting the message that you know, when I was getting dreams about this person, it was, you know, like I was saying, it's like it was showing me the situation as really dismal, as really bad. And so I was like, well, maybe it's not like this now, but it could get like that later if I continue, you know, with this person. So yeah, I mean it's like, and then I've been getting other dreams, you know, of like telling me that I need to stop waiting for, because there's still this aspect of me waiting for the charming prince kind of thing, you know. And so I'm just like, you know, I don't want that to happen. Logically, I don't want that, you know. I know that this is not the way to do things, that I need to really connect more with myself and be integrated within myself before I go out and look for someone, you know, to fill that void, you know, that there's still an aspect of me that feels this. But you know, nope, I've got to just keep focusing on my journey. That's you know, yeah.
That's being difficult to admit for myself now. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I totally agree. Like, we do want a partner to share this experience with, and to have someone there to support us. And it's just coming back to ourselves and giving ourselves the love first and doing it all for us and not dependent on someone else. Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. And I think, you know, because I've had moments where I'm like totally focused and happy with what I'm doing. And in those moments, I don't even care about finding anybody else. It's like, that's secondary, you know? So we've got to keep tapping into that, you know, of like finding that real, like having that purpose, you know, in our lives.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. When we have purpose, there's no time for thinking about other people or relationships, you know, and that will come by itself. It's not like saying, oh, you know, you do it all on your own, and you know, women power, you know. No, it's not about that, because it is nice to have someone to share experiences with, but it shouldn't be coming from a place of like wanting to fill a void. It's more just it's like complementing, you know, your happiness. That's the ideal relationship to be in. It's, you know, like somebody it's like you attract yourself like magnets, right? It's not like you're attracting someone because sometimes you do attract those people that need something from you, you know, and that you can feel their void or fill their void, sorry, or vice versa. You're going to learn something from those relationships regardless, but it's probably not going to last long, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got to be patient and be steadfast, you know, like what we really want. So yeah.
Not settle for less anyhow.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Did you want to share anything else, Sam?
No, that's okay. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Chacha, are you there? Oh, Cassia said she had to leave. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, cool. I didn't see that before. Anyway, Chacha, did you want to say something? Are you still unpacking? Because I think she was moving.
Hey, I'm here, but I just had to I don't know if I missed something because I had to run outside. It just started like crazy raining and my washing was out there.
It's been raining here too. So yeah, because we're both in France, so we have like the same crappy weather sometimes. Sometimes you have nicer weather than me.
Oh my God, I've had like really hot weather. It's been crazy hot, and because of it's been so hot, it's just like storming for the past 3 days now. After in the morning it's nice and cool, and then it gets hot at like 9 o'clock in the morning. It's like 30 degrees, and then it gets too hot. So then in the afternoon it's like cloudy and storming, and like a guy who's from here, he was like, oh, it's probably going to be like this the whole summer now. So I don't know, this is like the first year since I've been here that it's been like this, if it is. So we shall see. But yeah. I think like obviously the weather is connected to like planets and the movement in the sky and loads of things. Obviously there's loads of geoengineering and all of that stuff too. But I think it's quite interesting to see like the evolution of things, because obviously they're going hard on certain like ideas about climate change and things like that. So I don't know, it'd be interesting to watch like how things evolve. But so far, like we're at the end of June and the temperature here has been insane. Like the other day we went we went swimming in a river and like jumping off rocks and stuff, and the lady that took us, she said that the level of the water was so low, which is normally like end of July levels, you know, after the heat has been here and everything's like evaporated and there's been hardly any rain. But like I don't know, everything's totally different. Like it's been hot all month here, like at some point we got up to like 40 degrees. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it feels weird.
Wow, yeah, I know, right? It's yeah, everything is changing so drastically in terms of the weather. So everybody, Natasha's like really into like everything that's environmental, and please check out her page, her Instagram. She has a website as well. So yeah, and please share
Sorting
all-
House, if
Sorry?
you want to have a look, but
Yes.
I'm not so active at the moment, but thanks for the
Yes, and you have a blog going on. Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Great.
If people like are interested with what I have to say, it's not like I go on and on and
Don't
on. So if
diminish
you've got
yourself.
time, if you've got time, then by all means go and have a look.
You know, we reach the people that we're meant to. And so, you know,
Exactly.
like just like Cassia said, stay strong and keep doing your purpose, because you will reach those who are meant to listen. And that's why I'm like, you know, saying yes. For those people who will be catching the recording of this, they will also hear this, even if it's a year later, you know, it's 2023, people will be listening to this and be like, oh, let me go check that out, you know, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's like, it's so exciting to be part of like all of these groups where, you know, talking about alternative things and doing the stuff that we were never really taught at school. Because I mean, like talking about energy and dreams and the subconscious and like astral and all of these kind of things is just, it's so important. And the fact that, you know, we're made to feel like we're strange or outcasts or whatever throughout our whole lives until we were like, no, enough is enough. I'm going to find my group of people who are just as weird as I am. And, you know, it's like, I love it. I just love it. So I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for
Oh, me
everybody
too.
who's here and doing this. And like, it's not always easy. Sometimes it's like, oh, what am I going through? And, you know, can I just go back to being ignorant and like, help. But like, it's these moments where we like all get together that, I don't know, it feels so good. And I have hope. I have so much hope for what we're going to build and what we are building. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. How's your dream state been lately? Have you been remembering your dreams
Well,
at all,
you know,
or-
like I had one dream, like obviously I've been having loads of dreams and I just I'm struggling to remember them at the moment, which is kind of strange because I generally have quite good dream recall, but I suppose I have quite a lot going on in my like matrix life right now. So so I guess that's like a distraction. And, you know, I haven't really been doing my centering practices, and like the routine's totally gone out the window kind of thing with the move. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to it. But I did remember randomly a dream, and I was like, well, I think it was motivated by I was on Instagram and I saw like my old manager from London. Like I really loved her. She's like into house renovation and stuff. And I think because this is just like what I've deduced from looking at her story, we haven't spoken, but I think she's bought a new house and she's like really good at renovating. So it's like an old house that she's doing up. And anyway, my dream was centered around this because I must have looked at her story like not long before going to bed. So yeah, just totally like, what's the word, you know, like banal, what's the word in English?
oh,
like,
I know what, yeah, I know what you like, random or like,
yeah, like
it's not
random and
but,
not very pertinent or interesting, just like basic thing. But I was like, she was in my dream and it was about her, and I was like, oh, so tell me what the house is like, and just totally lame thing. But so yeah, that's it really. Nothing really like breakthrough or interesting or whatever. It could be interesting. I'll keep it in the bank.
Yeah, because well, when we do have like the dreams where we recycle things from the day, and it's like these images of yeah, just the random it seems like they're random, but it is pointing at something there.
Well, I kind of feel like it could be, you know, like a window into maybe like a parallel reality. I don't know, like obviously there's so many things we don't know, but I like to think that there are like other worlds with like other instances of me doing things. And you know, we've talked about this before with like past dreams where I like I do feel like I'm in a parallel reality. So when it's these kind of like nondescript kind of just general day, just general happening things, I feel like I'm kind of connecting to another part of me that's maybe living in another reality and doing similar things. Like there's that theory of like, whenever we make a decision in this reality, there's another reality where the other decision plays out, so that we can have the experience of all the things. And so I'm wondering if like in those kind of dreams, whether I'm maybe connecting to that other experience. So yeah, I don't know, I love to think about it in that way.
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely look at it that way, because what I was thinking is like even when you're in the astral realm, there are all these parallel probabilities or timelines that are happening at the same time. And there's also, and in the book I was reading by Robert Monroe, he was saying that he would visit what he would call locale 1 and then locale 2, which is like really crazy, and things are just like, there are beings that he like couldn't even explain, like and then just things that were, you know, really weird. But then in locale 1, I think, which for me would be more like the astral realm, he would visit people, and he would see them doing certain things or even talk to them, and then he would in the real life, he would ask them, hey, what were you doing around this time? And we're like, oh, I was taking my dog for a walk. And he had seen that in his dream. So he was literally visiting that timeline, and he was talking to them in the dream, and they were responding and they were saying things. So he was literally connecting to me. That means that he was connecting to some super conscious aspect of them, you know, another aspect of themselves. You travel, your body does travel, it goes to those people and does things, you know, they don't remember, but you were probably tapping into something that she was doing in that moment, you know, or in another now moment perhaps, but still really communicating with her. But it is happening in another plane of existence, so it's really weird, right? It's like yeah.
There's like also, and this is why, like, you know, you're going to say to me, this is the importance of keeping a dream journal, and I totally get the merit of it. It's just like, between understanding the benefit of something and actually putting it into practice is like two whole massive journeys in between one point and another. But I do have like several moments in my waking life where I'm like, oh, I've lived this situation before, like definitely deja vu feeling. And I'm like, I do think that these deja vus are coming through from maybe dreams, like premonitions and dreams and things. And oh, lo and behold, I didn't write it down, so I can't prove it. But this is exactly why, like, we should be keeping as much, like, you know, just doing those few minutes as you've suggested every morning, like trying to check in consciously. Like at first, obviously there's nothing that comes, or there might be nothing that comes through, but bit by bit, just connecting with that desire. Often things manifest themselves in the way that we like vibrate with them. So I totally get the merit, but that's like one of my goals for this like solar return, is to like get into, back is like a totally fake news, get into journaling for the first time. I have so many like half-started journals, it's embarrassing. But
well, it's nice to keep it like next to your bed, so that in the morning you just kind of grab it and write down whatever. And I know that you don't like recording dreams in your phone, you know, but that's what I do. For me, it's easier.
Definitely the easiest,
because I'm like you just woke up and like write things down, really? Like, no, there's no energy for that.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, like I have a partner, so I can't really, like, you know, I generally wake up first. I wake up quite early, and like I don't want to turn the light on or like disturb my partner, so I have to like get up, go, and then I have to go to the loo, and you know, like it's the whole rigmarole that at the end I'm like, oh, what was it? What was that?
Dream again?
Yeah, so like recording's a really good idea, and it's just that thing of like my phone is jammed full of crap screenshots of things. So yeah, I need to get organized, is the basic consensus.
A good one is Otter. You know, Claudette uses Otter, and this is an app, you know, if you guys want to check it out, it's OTTER. and it has like after a certain amount of hours of recording you have to pay, but for me it's been enough. Like I calculated the amount of time that I would be recording stuff, and it's like more than enough. The free version, so it goes directly into the app, it doesn't go on your phone. And then Otter is also the one, you know, that transcribes. I think she uses it for sessions a lot. I don't know if she's used
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So that one is like it writes it down. Like it literally some words are, you know, come out weird, but because you're
Yeah,
talking.
the AI is learning.
Yeah, but otherwise I found it like super helpful to have that, because that way I can see it, I can see the keywords, like literally it even gives them to you as well. So yeah, I like that one a lot. But if you prefer writing, then definitely keep the journal right next to your bed, and then when you're having, you know, your tea in the morning or whatnot, just consciously try to remember the dream. Like you can bring that into your consciousness as well, like intentionally saying, okay, now let's retrieve this information, right? And then you kind of close your eyes and then you start meditating on it, and it will come back. Some things
Yeah,
come
for
back.
real. Yeah.
Anyway. Thank you for sharing all that. Is there anything else you wanted to share?
No, thank you. Thank you for making this possible.
Oh, thank you for being here. I'm so glad you could make it. And yeah, did anyone want to say anything else before we close this session of dream work? All right. Well, I'll be providing the recording if you guys want to revisit the information, and we'll be doing another one probably sometime soon. I don't know when yet, but I will let you know. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Just, you know, set the intention to, thank you, Sam. Set the intention to remember your dreams, you know, do a little ritual before bed. That's more than enough. Like I've been trying rituals like every single night, different things, and I've been remembering my dreams so much better, you know, just by setting that intention of like, I want to remember, you know. So, and then we can try other things at some point too, right? I've got several techniques that I can share with you guys at some point during a workshop or something. So yeah, thank you, Nitlari. And thank you so much to, I'm gonna say your name wrong again. I'm probably gonna mess it up. Shoban. I hope I said it right. Thank you so much, guys. Mwah. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye.